Okay, since I'm not able to be there today, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to get started on the Barbie Bungee worksheet. Honestly, it would be great if you can finish as much of this as possible. After you watch the video that is on AP Classroom, it's about 6 minutes long. I would love for you to watch this video. It's as a reminder of how to use calculator things, and then go ahead and do as much of this worksheet as you can. I would say before Thursday, I need you to be done at least through question number 14. Okay, it'd be awesome if you can go farther than that, but at least through question number 14. So that is the goal for Thursday. Some of you guys have been absent and maybe missed how to do some of this calculator stuff, and then also some of you guys might just need a refresher. So I'm mainly going to show you some calculator things to help with this worksheet. So we start off by making a list and spreadsheet page and typing in your data. So you're going to have one column with rubber bands and one column with your distances. And then notice that you will put up here at the top next to A and B, you need to give them titles. This one was in centimeters, that's why it's a little bigger. But I have rubber bands and distance. Click outside of the columns and then go to menu, statistics, stat calculations, linear regression. So again, I'm going to say that one more time. I go to menu, statistics, stat calculations, linear regression, A plus BX. The only things we need to change are the X list and the Y list. X list is distance, the Y list, sorry, X list is rubber bands, Y list is distance. The rest of this stays the same, and then I hit OK. All right, you'll notice that this gives me the A and the B for the equation. You're going to want to keep some of the decimals because you're trying to be as accurate as possible for your predictions. So I would do like Y hat equals 24.75 plus 10.1071 X, maybe like 4 decimals. Notice this also gives you an R squared value, which is incredibly high, and it also gives you an R value. So you're asked for R squared and R at some point in the worksheet too. So all of that is here. Now to actually sketch the scatter plot though, you need to add a page. And so I like to do that by hitting Control and then Dock over here. Dock has a little blue plus page on it. So I'm going to do Control plus page. You need to add a data and statistics page. I'm going to click rubber bands for my x-axis and distance for my y-axis. That looks pretty darn linear, that one does. Okay, later in the worksheet, you are going to be asked to make a residual plot. You have to do this on this page, on the data and statistics page. So I'm going to go to menu and analyze. Notice that residuals is grayed out at the moment. So I can't choose residuals here, but that is because I need to do a regression. So I'm going to go to regression, show linear. Okay, there it is. And then I'm going to go to residuals. Hi, Mama. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So I did the, I hit the wrong button because I was distracted by my child. So when you go to menu and then analyze and residuals, we don't need to see the residual squares. What we need to do is go to show residual plot. So this is kind of interesting. It doesn't look like too much of a pattern, I would say, because it's kind of up and then down and then up and then down, and then up again and down. So I would sketch this residual plot. Notice that the x values are going to be the same thing as the x values up here. So when you sketch your residual plot, you'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you'll sketch your dots. Okay, that is everything that you need, I believe, for questions 1 through 14. But then when you get to question 15, it starts to ask you to do some transformations. So in this one, we're going to transform the y on number 15 to square root of y. So you actually have to create a new table and then find the equation of the least squares regression line. Your calculator will do this really easily for you, which is why I wanted to make a video, because I wanted to save you some time. So we actually already have rubber bands and distance here. So for our first new regression, we are going to be, it's a square root of y. So I'm just going to give it, it's trying to do a formula. I can type that in, square root distance. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. Okay. It's just the title. I actually do need to find the square root of the distance, but I need to put that in the equal sign row because that's a formula. So I'm just going to call this squirt dist for my title. And then here, I'm actually going to do the square root of distance. Okay, so I hit the square root button and then I typed distance, and you need to type whatever your y is. When you hit enter, it goes ahead and finds the square root of all the distances for you so that you don't have to do them all by hand. Okay. I'm actually going to have to rerun my linear regression now to find my new least squares regression line. So I go to menu and statistics, stat calculations, linear regression. My x's are still going to be rubber bands, but my y's are going to be square root distance. This one where I actually did the square root. And hit OK. It's okay to overlap. Okay, so I have a new equation of the line. It's going to be y hat equals this plus this x. Notice it gives me a new r squared value and a new r value. All right. Once again, I think it's going to ask you to make a residual plot to see if there's a pattern. So you add a page. We go to data and statistics. Rubber bands is my x. This time my y is square root distance. All right, it looks like that. I can make a regression line. And then I can do a residual plot. Yeah, so there's the residual plot for the square root option. Okay, so we're going to do a similar thing for the next question. It wants the natural log of y versus x. So in my calculator, I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet. And I'm actually going to overwrite this data. I'm going to hit the up arrow here, and then I'm just going to clear it. I'm just going to go ahead and clear all this stuff just to make it less confusing, I think. Okay, so now we're going to need the natural log of y, or the natural log of distance. So I'm just going to call it ln dist. But in the formula bar, the equal sign, I'm actually going to hit natural log distance and hit enter, and that gives me all the natural logs of the distance. Now I can do my least squares regression line again. I'm going to have rubber bands, and then I'm going to have natural log distance as my y's, and I hit OK. There's my new equation. Notice it gives me an r squared, and it gives me an r, and both of those are still pretty high. I don't think they're as high as they were before. I also want to look at the residual plot, so I need a data and statistics page. Surprisingly, still looks fairly linear, but I do kind of see a curve, I think, towards the end. So that means it's maybe not good, but show linear. And residuals, show residual plot. Okay, so this one clearly has a pattern. So for this particular data, I would say that the log transformation was actually not good. But you have different data than this, so it might be a different answer.